Hello and welcome to the Cook Along. Today we're going to be making some healthy wraps. I hope by now that you've got all of your equipment and ingredients ready. If you haven't, here's what you're going to need. Okay, so now that you have got all of your equipment and ingredients ready, it's time to get cooking. First thing we're going to do to make our healthy wraps is we're going to prepare the vegetables. And you'll see here that I've got some cucumber, I've got a yellow pepper and some tomatoes. I've also got some spinach which we're going to be using afterwards. I've already prepared my cucumber. We're just going to use a little slice like that per wrap that we're making, and I'm just going to have a cherry tomato just like that. I've also got this pepper. Now obviously we're not going to be using all this pepper, but I just wanted to show you the easiest way of preparing a pepper ready to cut up. I see lots of different ways of people preparing a pepper. Some people put that bit out and start scooping out the seeds. Some people do surgery on it and take that bit off and then they're at the bottom like that. But I'm going to show you the easiest way in 5 little steps. The first thing we need to make sure that we do is we put it flat down the surface with the stalk facing away, because we're going to cut the bottom off in a couple of moments. To slice it off, remember we're going to be using that little claw just as so. So to make that claw, if you remember, hand out flat, bust it together just like that, thumb goes underneath, and then you're just going to use that little claw, curve your fingers over, and the thumbs at the back, fingernails pointing straight down. And I'm just going to slice off the bottom of my pepper like that. Remember to use that little sawing action. Knife on the table, and you can see I've done my first cut just there. Then I can put it flat down the surface, and again I'm going to make my fingers a claw. I'm going to do cut number 2. I turn it round. I do cut number 3. Turn it round. Cut number 4 just like that, and then the 5th one just like that. And you can see I've got all of my pepper prepared just there, and that's the only part of the pepper that I'm going to discard. I'm going to pop that onto my waste plate just there. Now obviously I'm not going to be using all this pepper. I'm just going to have 2 little slices just like that. So we've got all of our vegetables prepared just as so. The next thing is we're going to now use our bridge and claw to prepare those vegetables. For my little tomato, obviously we need to put our little dot down, and we're going to make that little bridge just like that, because that's the shape that we use for cutting in half. I'm going to practice using my little cutlet key just here, my little doggy knife. And if you remember, we've got that igam-ogam down it, the zigzag teeth, so we're not able to chop, chop, chop. We must go cleaver, cleaver, cleaver. So hand as my little bridge, fingers going through, a knife going through, knife on the table, and put it flat down like that. Then I'm going to make my hands a bridge again, and I'm going to torri hana eto. I'm going to cut them in half, cut it out of board, and remember we're tidy chefs. Up like that, and we've got those out of the way just like that. For the pepper and the cucumber, we're going to be using that little claw technique. So thumb at the back, fingernails pointing straight down, and cleaver, 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 cut that out of both, tidy chef, up like that. And then I've got my pepper as well. Thumb at the back, fingernails pointing straight down, cleaver, 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 cleaver. You'll see that I'm cutting my vegetables more or less the same size, so that means that every bite that we take, we're going to have a selection of those vegetables. So you want the pieces to be about a centimetre, in centimetre, just like that, up like that. And then I'm just going to use this knife just here, cleaver, 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 cut that out above, tidy chef, up like that, and that's our vegetables prepared. So this is stage number 1. In a couple of moments, I'm going to put some quick reminders on the screen for you, and I'll see you once you've completed that. Hello and welcome back. Now that you've prepared your vegetables, we're ready to move on to start making our wraps. You'll see that whilst I've been waiting for you to finish your cutting skills, I've given my chopping board a nice clean over, and I've pushed my vegetables over to one side, so I've got a nice clear space for the wraps that we're going to be using. You'll see that I'm using a sort of half white, half wholemeal wrap today, or as I like to call them, the Welsh wraps, because I'm a proper Cardiff boy. I love having the half and half, right? So we've got our wrap just there, and the next thing we're going to do is we need to add a little bit of glue to our wrap as well. So rather than using butter or mayonnaise or something like that that's high in fat, we're going to be using some reduced fat soft cheese here today. And all that I'm going to do is I've got a little teaspoon just there. I'm just going to add about 1 heaped spoonful. Now, if I'm honest, I'm not a fan of cream cheese when you have it as a sort of dip, but when it's in this recipe, mixed with all those other vegetables, it is absolutely delicious. Right? It just adds to all that lovely flavour. So all I'm going to do is I tap it on like that, and we're going to use the back of my spoon just like that, just to spread it over just like that. And if you do it fast enough, and if you're quiet enough, you should be able to hear the spread and squid. So if I'm going to try it now, spread and squid just like that, right? As fast as you possibly can, and hopefully you'll be able to hear that little bit of spread and squidge. So now that we've done the spread and squidge, we're now ready to start assembling our wrap. The first thing we're going to pop on is we've got some spinach just here. If you haven't got spinach, you could add some salad leaves, you could add whatever you wanted, right? I particularly like spinach because it's jam-packed full of iron and lots of other nutrients, and it's also got a wonderful word in Welsh, and the Welsh word for it is spigoglis. And I know lots of young people that won't eat spinach, but they will quite happily eat spigoglis, right? So we're going to torri our spigoglis, we're going to cut or tear our spigoglis onto the wrap, and we don't want a huge amount, but we want to give it a nice base layer just like that. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add our vegetables, and when we're making our wraps, we want to try and keep everything more or less in the middle of a wrap, so when we come to roll it up, it won't all fall out. So I've got my wraps just there. The next thing I'm going to add is a little bit of protein, and as we know, protein foods are good for our muscles and help us to grow, and on the Eat Well guide, it's the pink section of food just there. So it's your beans, your pulses, your meats, and your eggs as well. So what I've got for my protein foods, I've got some little corn pieces just here. You could equally use some chicken, or some fish or some tuna, but I've chosen to use some corn pieces which I cooked off in the frying pan before we started, and I'm just going to tear up those corn pieces, and I'm going to pop just 2 little corn pieces just into the centre, just like that. May have another one just like that. We're also going to add a little bit of extra dairy to our wrap in addition to the cream cheese. So I'm just going to add, obviously that just there is our 30 grams, which is the recommended daily amount of cheese that we should be eating. So I'm not going to have all of it, I'm just going to have 15 grams just there, and I'm going to grate my cheese on top. Remember, if you're using one of these roti grater, your cheese goes in the top rather than through the middle, and I'm just going to turn and turn and turn and tap, turn and turn and turn and tap, troi a throi a throi a tap. So we're going to add our grated cheese, and then once you've done that, we'll then be ready to do the rolling. I'm going to give you a couple of moments to get to this stage, because then once we've done that, we can roll it up and we are going to do the reparino. There's some quick reminders coming for you up on screen. I'll see you in a couple of moments. Okay, so now that you have done that, we're now ready to start rolling it up. If I was just to roll up my wrap up just like that, it would all fall out at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something that I call the wraparina, which is a little bit like the Macarena. Okay, I'm sure you've all done that at parties, but it's for the wrap. Okay, so the way that we're going to do it, and bear with me now, right, you're going to feel really daft, is I would like you to pop your hands out just like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold, fold and fold. Okay? Then we roll and press, roll and press, roll and press. And the final bit is we hey Rapparina. Okay? Let's try it again. Try it with me. Barod? Okay? Fold, fold and fold. You roll and press, roll and press, roll and press. Hey Rapparina. Let's try it in Welsh. Fold in Welsh is pluggy. Okay? So we're going to pluggy, pluggy, pluggy. And then it's rolio gwasgi. Roll and press is rolio gwasgi. So try with me. Barod? Okay? Pluggy, pluggy, pluggy. Rolio gwasgi, rolio gwasgi, rolio gwasgi. Hey Rapparina. Okay? I hope you're feeling super daft. So let me show you how we're going to do this. Barod? Okay? So I fold, fold and fold. Okay? I'll do it in Welsh as well. Pluggy, pluggy, pluggy. Then we're going to rolio gwasgi, roll and press. It's coming out, we can push it in, roll and press. Making sure that my flappy edge of my wrap, okay, this bit just here, is right on the bottom. Then I can gwasgi, 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 and then hey Rapparina. I'll show you once again. I'll unravel him, okay, one more time. Pluggy, pluggy, pluggy. Rolio gwasgi, rolio gwasgi, rolio gwasgi, hey Rapparina. And then we can cut it in half. Now you can decide whether you're feeling bog standard, slightly posh, or very posh. Okay? We're all quite posh in Wales, so I'm going to go posh just there. I'm going to make my hands a bridge, and we're going to cut him at an angle. Okay? Hands a bridge. I cut him just like that. And then, knife on the table, I can present this to the rest of the family. I'm going to present mine to you, and hopefully I will have a little round of applause. Are you ready? After 3, 3, 2, 1, check that little wrap out just like that. It looks absolutely fantastic. It smells delicious too. So I'm going to present that today on my little silver plate. And we have got that just in like that, and you can see we've got our delicious wrap. So